I got the mail. Waiting on my Warbonnet Yeti, my underquilt, and it's in the mail. Ordered the Warbonnet Yeti underquilt, 20 degree. It's been 2 months now. Warbonnet got backed up, let people know on different forums, and then shut down their ordering process. So I notified them, hey, put this on back burner because I'm not going to be using it till the fall anyway. Our nighttime lows are above 50 now, and so I'll be using a pad for summertime hiking anyway. And so this won't get brought out until the fall, until it dips down below 50, back into the 40s, that I plan on using this. First underquilt, so I thought I would unveil it. Typical light box, and here comes the underquilt, stuff sack, of course the Warbonnet stickered to go with my other Warbonnet items, my Warbonnet Blackbird 1.1 DL, and then the directions. When you first pull your Yeti down underquilt out of the box, you can toss it in the dryer to help it fully loft. The International Down and Feathers Laboratory actually suggests tossing in some tennis balls in a wrung out damp washcloth. When pulling it out of the stuff sack in the field, grab it by the suspension tube on the side of the quilt and shake it vigorously for a minute to fluff the loft. The underquilt is asymmetrical. One corner is more curved than the other three. This corner goes at the head end of the hammock and at your left shoulder. The head end of the underquilt is also marked by the logo patch and the knot in the shock cord. So, the head end of the underquilt is also marked by the logo patch, which I would imagine is this, and the knot in the shock cord, which is this one right here. So that's head end and foot end. And yes, you can see a difference in the way the baffle comes up to the corner different on this end than it does here. It's not as rounded. Definitely squared off at the bottom and squared off at the bottom, and then definitely rounded for that shoulder. So again, in the hammock, you know where your left shoulder is. And the patch and the underquilt. Good to always read the directions. Setup is easy. Just hook the ends of the loop over the end mass whipping of your Blackbird. The tension should hold it on there. Attached to the suspension line, the tension on the underquilt will lift the empty hammock up into the air. This is normal. If you experience the side of the quilt shifting downward too much on the upper side, on the zipper side, you can correct this tendency by putting slightly more tension on the zipper side of the shock cord and slightly less on the shelf side. They're talking about the actual hammock tension cord. Another option is to use a small mini beaner and clip the shock cord to the tie out on the hammock, the one near your head. Once inside the hammock, get situated inside, then reach to move the underquilt where you want it. I usually pull the end edge down to about my knees, which puts the quilt in about the right spot. You will need to make sure the shock cord runs over the top of your legs, over the foot box on the Blackbird, because it's angled and it has a foot shelf. You can do this to an extent before you get in or after, but even if the shock cord runs under your legs, it will cause a large gap at the butt and you'll lose heat. So make sure the shock cord goes over your legs when lying diagonally. To get the head end snug, simply reach out and grab the butt edge end of the quilt and slide the underquilt to about your knees so the head edge is even with your shoulders or a couple inches above rather than up near the top of your head. Conversely, to vent the quilt, if you get too hot, slide the head edge back up near the top of your head. I recommend having someone else lay in the hammock while you move the quilt closer to the top of your head or closer down to the shoulders, and with the shock cord over under the footbox leg to see how this affects the fit. All adjustments can be easily made while laying in the hammock. Just reach out of the hammock and move the underquilt where it needs to be. You can watch a setup video for the Yeti underquilt in the setup section at the website. I watch that a lot. I go back and forth and watch those time and time again. So I actually was expecting this to be more of a black, and it's actually more of a drab, brown, olive, gray. That's kind of cool. I wasn't expecting that. I actually like it better than black because it's going to match the green of the underquilt. It's not black like it was. There's the 1-inch shock cord, the head end shock cord. There's the foot end shock cord. There's a, runs through the channels. And again, you fluff it up, fluff it up, fluff it up. And then it would just ride on the hammock. 3/4 underquilt. Oh. And surprisingly enough, I'm 6 foot. So, I think it will just come to the back of my knees, which is really where I want it. I don't want it on my thighs, I don't want it down on my calves. I really was hoping it would come to my knees, and it looks like it may drop a little bit below my knees. So, pretty cool. Again, craftsmanship, pretty awesome. Very lightweight, but fluffs up nice. And like I said, the color is cool. Wasn't expecting the color. So, and again, the stuff sack, lightweight stuff sack. The crazy thing about it is that I probably will not be using stuff sacks. I just shove this with the 1 or 2 top quilts I have into the ULA in the bottom of the trash compactor bag. I may update this later with actual weights, but what I've seen, these companies know really, they've done so many and they've weighed them out so many times that they know pretty much where the weight is. This is 12.9, right around there, ounces. It's the lightest underquilt on the market that I could find. 20 degree, 3/4 underquilt. Lightest one I've seen out there. That's the whole reason I got it ultra light. And I don't mind supplementing with a pad because I actually like a pad, and I like having the ability to go to the ground in the tarp if I need to. So we'll just have to wait and see. See you on the trail.